It's our Week 6 Monday morning injury update, and a couple of fantasy stars are affected. I'm Joe Dolan, and this is the Fantasy Points morning lineup for Monday, October 8th, 2023. Any stats you hear in this program will be from the Fantasy Points data suite unless otherwise noted. The data suite is 75% off for the 2023 NFL season, and you can check it out with a free 7-day trial. Now, you can also subscribe to any content package at fantasypoints.com by using code GURIFIC25 for a major discount. Let's start with a couple of quarterback injuries suffered in the Week 5 games. Colts rookie quarterback Anthony Richardson went down with a shoulder injury, and it did not look great. Now, our guy, Dr. Edwin Porras, said it looks like an AC sprain, and per Diana Rossini of The Athletic, Colts quarterback Anthony Richardson is currently at the hospital getting an MRI on his shoulder. Results of the MRI are expected as soon as tonight, per source. Now, I'm obviously recording this the night before, but we should have some information on Anthony Richardson by Monday morning. That being said, he's played 4 games in the NFL and he's left early in 3 of them with an injury. This is not a great start to his career, especially for a guy who's been playing very well. Now, we do know that Gardner Minshew can keep this offense on schedule. Gardner Minshew led the Colts to a victory against the Titans this week, and he obviously beat the Ravens a couple of weeks ago. But this is not the greatest start for a great fantasy quarterback in Richardson. So there is something to be monitored here. I would anticipate that the Indianapolis Colts are going to sit Richardson until he is fully healthy. They don't want a Derek Carr situation. Derek Carr last week for the Saints did not look like he should have been out there with an AC sprain, and I wonder if that's the case for Anthony Richardson, whose x-rays were negative, by the way, if he should sit out a week or two. Unfortunately, Anthony Richardson managers are going to have to find another fantasy option. There's another injury, and it seems like it could be more serious. The Giants' Daniel Jones went down late in their loss to the Miami Dolphins with a neck injury. Now, per Pat Leonard of the New York Daily News, Daniel Jones admits his neck soreness and pain feels, quote, similar to what he had in 2021. He had an x-ray tonight, awaiting results, meaning last night for those of you watching this, and will get a scan tomorrow, meaning today for those of you watching this. Not encouraging. Now, in 2021, that injury that Pat Leonard referenced and Daniel Jones made note of was a season ender for Daniel Jones, who missed the final 6 games of the 2021 season after suffering the injury against the Eagles. Tyrod Taylor is the backup, and he's a great backup, we know, but this Giant offense is still broken. They got Darren Waller going a little bit on Sunday, but without Daniel Jones, it looks like it's more pain for the Giants offense. I would anticipate Daniel Jones missing some time. In Minnesota on Sunday, Travis Kelce tried to shake off an ankle injury, and Justin Jefferson got dinged up as well. Per Jordan Schultz of The Score, it's a high ankle sprain for Travis Kelce. He was playing through it, and he returned and made a couple of catches, but didn't look himself. And frankly, he hasn't really looked himself at all this year. He's going to be clearly hobbled. Remember, he suffered a leg injury before the Chiefs opener and missed that game. So now we're talking about 2 lower leg injuries for Travis Kelce. He is the Chiefs' best receiver. Really, he's their only reliable receiver. So it's going to be really difficult to see Patrick Mahomes reaching the ceilings that we know he can reach for fantasy without Kelce. Now, the fact that he returned to play is encouraging, but this is something that could affect him going forward. Keep in mind, Minnesota has a slit film turf field, and it was a non-contact injury for Kelce. It's one of 4 stadiums left that has a slit film turf field, per Kevin Seifert of ESPN, and it's a field surface on which the NFL and NFLPA studies have indicated a higher occurrence of injuries. The turf field is slated to be replaced, but not until after the 2023 season. And if Taylor Swift's Swifties have any power over it, all artificial turf is going to be gone from NFL stadiums shortly. As for Jefferson, he suffered a hamstring injury late in the game against the Chiefs and went to the Blue Medical tent. Obviously, hamstrings can be fickle, and what is more concerning is that neither the Chiefs nor the Vikings have a bye anytime soon. The Chiefs don't have a bye until Week 10. The Vikings don't have a bye until Week 13. Now, if Jefferson were to miss time, obviously the rookie Jordan Addison would get a huge boost, as would KJ Osborne, the veteran who had actually been out snapping and running more routes than Addison through the first few weeks of the season. And of course, TJ Hawkinson would be a big threat across the middle. An oft-injured running back got hurt again in Week 5. The Cardinals' James Conner went down with a knee injury on a 35-yard, very impressive 35-yard run in the first half of their game against the Bengals on Sunday. Conner did not return after halftime, and Amari DiMercato is the guy to pick up here. He scored in week 5, and you might know him for being a teammate of Kendre Miller at TCU last year. Now, our guy Trey Camberling, Trey, you're listening to this because you're editing it. In his Dynasty Desk article at fantasypoints.com this week, he wrote up Amari DiMercado as the guy who should be rostered over Keontae Ingram in leagues. The rookie out of TCU was out-snapping Keontae Ingram 17-7 on passing downs, Trey wrote, before Ingram missed week 4 with his neck injury and has been targeted 6 times compared to 1 for Ingram and 9 for James Conner. So DiMercado is a guy who the Cardinals kept on the roster, ended up playing pretty well against the Bengals on Sunday. So there is a waiver wire name. I say it every year. We always have a running back who you never heard of before the season who comes in and is fantasy relevant. Jaleel McLaughlin with the Broncos potentially, and Amari DiMercado with the Cardinals. Now here are some other injuries to monitor from Sunday. Tank Dell of the Texans left with a concussion, did not return. Wan'Dale Robinson of the Giants was evaluated for a concussion, did return, but we obviously should monitor his status going forward. Chris Olave of the Saints was spotted limping before the Saints game on Sunday against the Patriots. Now, it was a toe injury per Coach Dennis Allen. He was hurt in pregame, made it through the game with no issues, but we'll see if things stiffen up throughout the week. And the Jaguars' Zay Jones in the London game left and did not return with a knee injury. Now, he missed 2 games with that injury, returned on Sunday, scored a touchdown, but then got hurt again. So that is something we have to monitor with both Calvin Ridley and Christian Kirk having huge games for the Jaguars. Thanks for joining me for this edition of the Fantasy Points Morning Lineup. Remember to subscribe to the channel for more fantasy football content, smash that like button, and comment if you enjoyed this video. Are you picking up Amari DiMercado? Maybe. The Cardinals are a little bit feistier than I thought they'd be. And remember that you can catch me over at fantasypoints.com if you use code GURIFIC25 for 25% off. Thanks, everybody. Good luck on waivers this week.